Hey guys, I'm Matt and this is Making Games, my monthly video series about making video games. I started this month by doing a small 2-day game jam on a Saturday and Sunday. The jam was called the Cat and Octopus Jam, and the only rules were that it had to feature a cat and an octopus. There's a lot of stuff I learned during the development of this, so either way, it was a successful jam. I think I'm going to continue doing 2-day jams once a month, every month, while I'm developing my other games. So let me show you a little bit of the behind the scenes specifics to how I made the game for the game jam called Catfishing. Let's get some of that light out of here. So in terms of what I use for actually drawing, I use a 4H pencil, I guess I don't know. I just found that I like that one the best. I can make the lightest lines with it that are easier to erase. I also have a bunch of other pencils that I use, but I don't use them as much as that one. Pens, primarily what I use is Faber-Castell pen things. I use a fine, small, and extra small, which I think is like a 0.1, a 0.3, and a 0.5 maybe millimeter. In terms of audio and music and sound effects, I just used a synthesizer I have, which is an Arturia Micro Brute, and a Alesis, that is so hard to say, and an Alesis SR18 drum machine that I've had for some time. Oh, and then one more thing I used was the Wacom Intuos, just the cheapest digital pen thing. I use this for basically coloring. So I draw everything on paper, scan it in using my printer scanner thing, and then just do the colors with this guy. I learned some new things about hinges in Unity 2D, as well as just getting everything done with that new art style that I do with drawing things on paper, scanning them in, and then coloring them in Photoshop before putting them in the game for use. This is also probably one of the first times that I've created a 2D game where the pieces of the cat and the other character are separated and then you put them together in Unity and then you animate them. That's actually really easy to do. It's just not something I've done a lot before. Typically what I'll do is pixel art stuff, draw the pixel art, and then redo next sprite, and then traditionally animate it kind of by hand. For Llama Llama this month, I worked on the menu, which is the basic main menu, and it's a 3D kind of menu moving left and right and up and down. There's a blog post on this that should be up at some point after this is out to talk more about the menu stuff specifically, so you can find that on my Patreon, or you can find that on my website. You can find the Patreon links down below for that. The more dynamic part of Llama Llama that was worked on was the character select menu. In the past, when you would start the character select menu, it would have a default character that you would have, and that's the only character you could have, and the character and the jetpacks and everything were all built in. Now, the jetpack and the character are both dynamic. So what you can do is press a button to join in on the player select screen, pick your character, and then you can also change your jetpacks, which is kind of cool because in the future we're gonna have different jetpacks and different characters, and you're gonna get to play with those combinations of those two things together. I want to create a road map for Llama Llama that says this is all the aspects of the game that need to be completed. Here's a map of it. Here's the progress on each section. This is what we need to do. This is where we're at. It's all kind of in my head right now, so it'd just be nice to get it on paper. So that's kind of just the process here, is getting all the stuff that's in my head and putting it out on paper in kind of a number form or a diagram sort of form. And then the third and final thing that I worked on this month was setting up the Patreon, which is something I've been playing around with a little bit in the past, It's all set up to be completely optional, and what it does is it supports me by creating these vlogs and giving you early access to vlogs, blog posts, jam games that I make every month. Gives you a lot more input into all that stuff. If you have some ideas for some jam games or something like that, want to get into a Discord server and chat with me about what jam game I should work on this month. Also, if you want your name in the credits in the vlog or in one of my jam games, you can pledge and that will happen as well. Just a nice way to optionally support these videos, my creation of video games. But everything that I'm creating through this video, through my jam games, through my blog posts, and through my normal games is still gonna come out online. You just get some nice bonus perks by pledging. If you can't or don't want to, you don't have to. Everything is still gonna come out. So if you wanna find the link to that Patreon, just head down below in the description and I've got it down there. So as I'm building these vlogs, I want to have a theme every month. And last month's theme was picking something up and finishing it. This month's theme is very much time management. I've spent a lot of time, now that it's summer for a few months yet, there's still a lot of stuff to do with family and friends. The game dev stuff is something that I have to really manage my time at better. That's where some of the roadmap for Llama Llama comes in. That's where some of the planning for the Patreon comes in, saying, I need to have blog posts done by this day on the month, vlogs done by this day on the month, etc. But that's all something that needs to be planned, so when I go and I get that time to work on the game, in between spending time with friends and family, I need to be very focused on what I'm working on. I also need to be working on stuff that I know is what needs to be done. Especially with things like character select, it's not something that at this point in the project, there's a lot of content to put behind it. Those were two very specific pieces of functionality that I was dedicated to working on, and that the time spent on them was very well invested into the project. So if you like this vlog, I'd recommend you subscribe. Additionally, you can check out that Patreon, again, down in the link below. And I will see you next month for Making Games 3. Uh-oh.